Okay, thank you very much for joining us. This is On the Fly with Angela B. Chrysler. And I have here Adam Dreece. He just released The Wizard Killer, which is first of a series, I hope. It is a post apocalyptic fantasy, which that's one of the things I'm just dying to get my hands into here. Adam, thank you so much for joining me here today. I do want to ask you where you came up with this idea.
Well, first, thank you for having me. And secondly, it was kind of funny. I was writing my first science fiction book, which will come out in September, The Man of Cloud 9. And that's really a lot more on my cerebral side. Now, for anybody who's read The Yellow Hoods, I've got a balance between kind of humor and action and all of this. So part of the actionness of me needed a place to go. So that's why I decided to start writing this serial. Now, I have this idea that, just like I've done with steampunk and fairy tales in The Yellow Hoods, I have this idea for twisting things up when it comes to fantasy, right? Firstly, treating fantasy and magic, but almost from a science fiction point of view, using some elements of technology, and then taking my love of worlds like Fallout and just incorporating that. And so I thought, it'll be a little bit of an experiment on top of taking care of my kids and writing The Man of Cloud 9. Why not increase the difficulty level and have a weekly serial? Mm-hmm. So, but as soon as I started in on it, it kept pulling me in for episode after episode, week after week. And, from a world building point of view, I really forced myself to use as much as I could the character's five senses, because of course this is first person present tense, and it starts with the guy coming back to life yet again in a world where magic's failing. So you're not getting fantasy at its height, you're getting it after something's clearly gone drastically awry. And the character comes back to life, is aware that something's wrong because memories are all foggy, and so you've really got this really intense exploration of both the character of themselves and of the world in that episodic comic book, oh my God, I got to read the next episode fashion. And it was amazing because I had a test run of 50 books for the convention that I just went to last weekend. And, I've got the poster here. So, and it says, post-apocalyptic fantasy, 5 stars, Harry Potter meets Die Hard. And
that's an eye catcher. I saw Harry Potter meets Die Hard, and I'm just like, my brain exploded with anticipation.
And it's funny because I had people, like some people walking around with headphones, they just turned and they came straight. They picked up the book, they quickly glanced at the back, not even take the headphones off, just hand me $10.
Yeah.
And I had one person come on Sunday and they looked like a wreck. And the guy's like, dude, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I had to force myself to put it down because I needed to get some sleep. He's like, when you say you don't relent, like you don't, it just kept building and building.
I'm exploding here. I was preparing for the interview this morning, and I asked my husband, now you read it, right? And I haven't gotten around to it. I had a convention myself, so I've been all over it. So I asked him, I said, you took time out to read it, right? He goes, yes. And I'm pissed. I'm like, what's wrong with it? He goes, I'm just pissed at it. Why? Because it's over. That's it. That was.
I've gotten that reaction a lot. It's like one of my really good friends. He lives in Toronto. His name's Brad. He sent me a message, and he said, "I'm okay now, but I was really angry at the end." And I'm here like, "This is the first person to be saying this, right?" So I'm here like, good angry or bad angry? He goes, no, it's good angry. He says, but I mean, I know every episode was a cliffhanger and you treated this like a TV season, right? That's why you called it season 1. He goes, but the cliffhanger, he goes, I kept looking for more pages and I'm holding it.
Where is it?
It's like, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It ended. No, it even says the end of season 1. It's like, no.
I am like I watched his response to this novella. How long is it? How many pages?
I think electronically it's 98. In print it's 140.
Yeah, it's not long at all. It's almost novella form. But I
Mhm.
watched him respond to this, and his enthusiasm alone was enough for me to say, okay, I really got to read this. And he was explaining, he's my husband has read some intense sci-fi, fantasy. He's read a wide range of everything. And kudos to you. His words were, I have never seen anything so uniquely and come together. Absolutely unique turn. Just very, very different with what you've done here. And as he said he reads post-apocalyptic, he's read the fantasy, he's read the sci-fi, and you just bring it all and deliver. And it does leave you with that very, where's the rest? So I can't wait. I wish I could have brought him on because he speaks glory of this. And you said you used it to filter your action from Man in the Cloud.
Cloud 9, yeah. Well,
Cloud
there
9,
was two purposes. So at first, it was a bit of a personal challenge, but also, yeah, very much so, because the Man of Cloud 9, I mean, it takes place 70 years in the future. The world's been damaged. I don't like to say it's dystopian, but it's been damaged by climate change. The central United States have been scarred by a solar flare, and that's just the backdrop. And so when that happens, you've got a society that's really pulled back from innovation. And along comes a Steve Jobs-like character with an idea of nanobots and whatnot. And so it's this, high-tech startups element, man against culture, then man against self kind of story. And so I kept finding myself bleeding in action scenes, which really didn't fit. I mean, there's an intensity and there's a buildup, and it really is a sci-fi thriller. But I found myself stopping at, after that kind of writing session going, garbage bin, because it was wrong. Now, similarly, for The Wizard Killer, I really had, the first 16 episodes just kind of naturally flowed out. I was always excited. I would sit down, and at first they were kind of like, I've got 2 hours, and I was posting them in completely raw form. So between the raw form that went online and the edition, like the season 1 compilation, I took them, I revised them, they got professionally edited, and so things are tighter. The ending is a lot more sharp, much to the happiness and chagrin of people like your husband. But at episode 16, it took me 2 weeks because, you can build up things, but then you've got to really be delivering solidly. And so 16 was hard. And then 17 just was really hard. And I got blocked on 18. And I was just walking around with that. And it took me, I think I rewrote that entire episode 4 times. And the other thing that happened around episode 12 is they kind of started going into about 2,000 words an episode. But when episode 18 broke and came out, 19 popped out the next day. And that's when I was walking with my wife, walking the dog. And she says to me, you could probably get this out for Calgary Expo. Now, what people don't know is I live in Calgary, Alberta. Calgary Expo is our big Comic-Con event. There's about 100,000 people who come to it. And 2 years ago, I released the first of the Yellow Hoods books there and really launched my whole indie career. And every Calgary Expo, I've had a new book. And in our sister city in Edmonton, which is 6 months later, they have their expo, I've had a new book as well. So every single time, bang, 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 bang. And this was going to be the first one where I didn't have something brand new. And it bothered me. I was supposed to be the Man of Cloud 9, but I'm very much quality over the deadline. And it needed, another rewrite. And so, I wasn't going to force it. I was going to let this happen properly. And so, I didn't have anything in hand. It's almost like my wife reached into my back pocket. And went, what about this? I mean, I still have to write the finale. I've got to revise everything. She's go, yeah, but it's 3 weeks away. So I call the printer. It's like, okay, listen, would you guys be able to do a test run? Can you tell me what's the latest I can get this to you for you guys to guarantee you'll have this for me? And so then I called my editor who was working on the Man of Cloud 9. And it's like, hey, Aaron, this probably take you, I'm guessing, 1 to 2 days. Would you be able to? And it's like, yeah, if I get it by Sunday. This was a Tuesday. It's like, okay, all I got to do is write the finale, which I not only did, but I had to rewrite it twice, and I had to revise 18, 19, and 20 twice so that it all delivered properly. And then I had to go back to the very beginning and run through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I got so little sleep, but the excitement was just there. It's interesting because by the end of this year, really the three different sides of me will be out in a new book form, right? Yeah. So I'll have book 5 of the Yellow Hood, bringing that, that more youthful action adventure, but with those layers of not just snarkiness, but social commentary and whatnot. I'll have the Man of Cloud 9. So, my 20 years in IT and having been to Silicon Valley startups and whatnot and worked for Microsoft, those elements all in there with that cerebral element. And now the Wizard Killer, which is that action intensity, that, Dungeons and Dragons loving kid who, it's like I took those years of investment and distilled them down and said, okay, now here's kind of like the espresso version of, like the giant coffee.
Yeah.
So it was really exciting. I really didn't expect the reaction out of people that it got. It was the little experiment. I didn't even have it budgeted to send it to print or do any of this. I was literally the day before, my wife said, could we do this? And then of course my inside is like, damn it, we're going to do this. I don't know how, I don't know, but it's going to happen, right? That's exactly what happened with Along Came a Wolf.
Yeah.
And I was wondering the day before, when could I release this? And should I really release this? Well, so now I know the answer. And now I have people grabbing me. Season 2. When do I get season 2? It's like,
when? Yes, when?
Yeah, it's like, I've got to do the edits for Men of Cloud 9. Get them done. I've got to write this other book. Get it done. Right?
How many seasons have you planned for this?
I've got 3 seasons clearly in mind. And it's interesting. It's a play with a format. I might have 5, but I'm debating doing 3 seasons and then doing a novel. And then I'll see whether or not I have any seasons left for this character, or if I'll do another serial. Kind of like, this is almost, I don't know if you watch Daredevil on Netflix and Luke Cage. So they're all kind of, between Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist and whatnot, they're all going to work toward the Defenders.
Okay, yeah.
And
the Marvel approach, the Avengers approach.
Right. So, what I'm thinking is, this serial allows me to have a really intense relationship with this character. I don't want it to go on to the point where it starts becoming repetitive or it loses any of that intensity. So I'd rather make it on the shorter side than the longer side. But I can take this character and incorporate them into a novel, introduce other characters, and maybe have somebody else that would be worth following for a couple of seasons. But it's too early to say.
Right. Do you know where the story will end? Do you have that? Or
I know where season 2 ends, and I know where season 3 ends. Now, that being said, I thought that season 1 would end at a different point. And I realized the journey, it wasn't a journey to there. It was, how do I put it? It's not about the destination, right? It's about the journey. And this season was really about getting to that certain distinctive point. So, and I'm glad I let the character and the story drive where it naturally was going to end, because it made me look at, okay, well, that ending I had in mind, which now is likely where season 2 will end, will be so much more impactful.
Yeah.
Because I took my time to get there without dragging anything out. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be visiting, Floating City. We're going to be looking at the character's past. We're going to get to know his identity, and what kind of happened. I don't expect by the end of season 2, I'm going to have laid out all the answers about what exactly took place just before he woke up in season 1. But I can guarantee by early in season 3, we'll definitely have all those answers.
Okay. And I have to ask, will this also be on your blog?
So I'm going to follow the same format. It was really interesting and very validating to be, I was posting these raw episodes one a week, and until the latter ones, and to see people being engaged with it, which was great. But the thing that really was validating was, I think pretty much everybody that I know who posted at any point or commented on it have all either bought the ebook or put pre-orders for the print book, or are coming to Calgary Expo to buy the book. So it's only like, wow, people kind of got the content for free. It's that freemium model, right?
Yeah.
So here was all of this completely raw. Some of the edits, some of the edits that needed to happen clearly made people's eyes bleed, but they still endured that to get to the point where when it was produced, it's not like, thanks for the free story, I'm going to jet. It's like, no. I've been part of this. I want this. And I'd like to read it all cleaned up as one, one big binge reading, which is funny. When I describe it when I was describing it at Regina Fan Expo, I said, if you were going to binge read a book the same way that you binge really good shows on Netflix, this is that book.
Yeah. I
don't give you that natural chapter that lets you breathe and relax no, I just keep unrelentingly.
Yeah.
Like,
which you need that break between the seasons to catch your breath.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, that's that. Where now? I checked it. It's on Amazon, and I saw that the Kindle is available there. And where can we get the print?
So the print edition right now is going to be available only directly from me. That's just for the next couple of days. It's going to go up in CreateSpace next week.
Okay.
Which makes it available from Amazon, and people will be able to go to my website or my publishing company, ADZO publishing.com, and get signed copies. But I forgot, we already had put it in to Pubstock, which means that it's already orderable from all bookstores. So you can actually order it directly. Yeah, I forgot we took care of that beforehand. Little things that you forget, right?
Yeah.
All the madness.
This had to have gone fast. It sounds like you just threw it out there really fast.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks today, right? It was crazy light speed. So yeah. So just to summarize that, to be clear for anybody, so it'll be available on Amazon in print by the end of next week, but it's orderable from any bookstores now. And so those requests will actually get routed to us, and then And
I will absolutely be putting through all the links. They will be posted with the video, so people can follow along. And if we want to read season 2, where will that be posted?
So that'll be posted at adamdreece.com/thewizkiller. We'll send you to the book page, and there's going to be a season 2 link that'll let you get the episodes. And hopefully I can keep it up on a weekly basis. And we'll see. I'm planning to start writing that. I need to get the book 5 of the Yellow Hoods out of the way, but I should probably start writing this, I'm guessing, around mid to end July. So provided, we work out the contracts with the actors in the book. So no, absolutely. And will it be audiobook then? Actually, funny you bring that up. I'm going to at least record the first episode myself and posting that and see what the reaction is whether or not I should do the rest of the book or just get somebody to do it professionally. When I've done some test readings, the voice I use and the cadence apparently is really gripping. So yeah, this might be actually my first foray into doing that. Yeah. And one more question for you. Graphic novel. Have you don't chalk in your coffee. Are you doing a graphic novel with this? I have been walking around with that idea for a week. I need to find the artist that could bring that together, but I think it really would fit well with a graphic novel. So it's all a matter of finding the artist and then being able to collaborate. But it's helpful to have, here's the content, right? Take this and work the deal out. But I think more so than anything else that I've written, this is the there's a joke, because I have a couple of celebrities that are reading the book, but the joke is we don't need a script, we've got it, right? We just need to maybe annotate it a little bit, because clearly we've got the character, we know the We've got it, thanks.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of a
Good
good
luck
joke.
with
Yeah.
that. We have The Wizard Killer. This is season 1, post-apocalyptic fantasy by Adam Dreece. I'm just going to read the back of the book here. The world, once at the height of magical technology and social order, has collapsed. How and why are the least of the Wizard Killer's worries. Leaning my blood head against the back of the crashed levitating carriage, I flex my cramped fingers. With a renewed grip on the mana pistol, I steal a quick breath. The others better wake up fast, otherwise we're all going to burn. Enjoy all 20 pulse-pounding episodes and an all-new side to best-selling young adult author, Adam Dreece. And we have from mbbwarebooks.org, says, an intense action movie-style romp through a wonderfully detailed fantasy world. I freaking love this story. I love the cinematic feel. I love the action scenes. I love the characters. It was like Harry Potter meets Die Hard, which that line alone just sold me. So thank you. Go ahead.
It's funny. Out of my other books, I've never got a comparison. And then I got Mike's one, which is on the back there. And then I got another one from a huge post-apocalyptic avid reader, Evan, who said it was like Mad Max meets Lord of the Rings. And I thought,
oh, wow. No, that's one you need to use for anime lovers. That hit home with me.
So it's like, wow, okay.
Wow.
How do I get to...
Yeah, Mad Max meets Lord of the Rings. That is...
Well, now you'll have to read it and tell me if that really fits.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. This is... I'm eager. Very, very eager. Thank you so much, Adam, for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You too.